Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction to St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1 in the fourth round of the Scottish Cup. I am Scott Carney, I'm on my own tonight and that wasn't half a slog. Rangers, please sign some players. That would be nice, thank you very much. Before I get into it, just a shameless plug, please do subscribe to our channel and like the video. Also leave your comments with your opinions that I have on tonight's game in the chat, that would be great. Additionally, if you would like to go a step further to support the podcast, you can join the YouTube channel by becoming a member for as little as 99p, and you can also buy the podcast a coffee and join the Coffee Buying Legend membership via buymeacoffee.com. All the links for that are in the description for this podcast. So into the actual game itself. Start 11 for starters. We all called it last night on Club Live. It was exactly the team that we expected it to be. No real great shocks. On paper just now, I think it looks as our strongest team as we try and get people back from injury and definitely get new faces in. I don't think there's any great doubt about it. I don't want to be all kind of doom and gloom about it tonight. Ultimately, we have secured our path into the next round of the cup. That is what's all going to. That's all this game will be remembered for. But there was a lot of tonight that was a real tough watch. A real tough watch. Into the first half, and there was extremely little to report in the first 10 minutes for sure. The game started as expected, as I expected it to. Rangers having all the ball, St Johnstone sitting in, trying to do anything to catch Rangers on the break. Good to see that the Rangers fans had the full three stands due to the boycotting carried out by St Johnstone fans due to ticketing pricing. They decided not to show up. I think there was only about 400 St Johnstone fans there, but 7,400 Rangers fans. I mean, that's just incredible support, absolutely incredible support. So well done to absolutely everybody that was there tonight. That's absolutely great. But it was clear that we were going to need something. We were going to need to be patient even with the likes of Kent, Sakala, Morelos and Tillman. The movement, the clever passing, all of the above. We were going to need that, and we were going to need that, and what St Johnstone had tried to set up to do. They wanted to survive for as long as they could and then try and get something at the end of the game. We've seen it a million times. We know what teams are going to do, but we are still having issues with teams that want to line up and play like this against us. It was Kent who was the quickest. For the first bit of action that we had, Kent was quickest to react. A bit of indecision from St Johnstone defence about who was going for the header. Kent dinks it to the back post, but Sakala gets the kind of flying volley all wrong, but that's 16 minutes gone, and that was a kind of first half glimpse at goal. As I say, there was very little happening for either side. 20 minutes in, and say Rangers were really needing to up the tempo. And we weren't pressing St Johnstone. This baffles me that we don't put teams under pressure. We're not getting in their faces. We are allowing them to get sustained periods of possession without putting them under pressure. We need to be in these teams' faces. St Johnstone are not a very good team. Their form tells you that alone. I know the pitch wasn't exactly ideal tonight. Arguably, it was probably better than Hampden the other week, but we need to do more. We need to be in these teams' faces. We have to go after these teams, because we just stand off and let them build confidence. They shouldn't have any confidence. The form that they're in, Rangers are coming to town. We're in good form on paper. We're winning games, yes. But for whatever reason, we decide to stand off at times and let them play, let them build possession, try to get themselves into the game. And yeah, it was becoming a very frustrating watch for me. And even there was just at certain points where we just weren't reacting when we were winning the ball back. The balls were wrong, the passes were not great at all. Yeah, and really struggling to get anything going in that first half. It was a tough one. Players like Tillman couldn't really get himself involved in the game, not at the start either one, neither could Morelos. But that's what's going to happen when you happily let St Johnstone just keep the possession. I'm afraid for the next 10 minutes after that, again, nothing really improves. It's one of these starts again from Rangers where we haven't really started at all. Very flat, very frustrating, and literally doing nothing with the ball or without the ball. It was a shocking half of football. Tillman is then booked for what looked like Tillman standing his ground as Stevie May ran into him. It's hard to see from the replay that we've seen if Tillman has moved into the path of May or not, but as far as I'm concerned, from what I've seen, Tillman stood still, Stevie May ran into him, and Tillman was booked for it. And then even more baffling than that, the referee then decided to give the free kick where it was initially, which was 20 yards back from where the incident just happened that he just booked Tillman for. I literally have nothing on that. I've got no understanding of what that means. A ref in the comments could probably come in and tell me that, but literally not got a clue what that's all about. I just don't understand how it's a booking. Honestly, I'm just clueless to confusing to say the least. Really is confusing. 35 minutes, not one keeper really has been tested at this point. Kent wins as a free kick in a very dangerous position on about the 36th minute. It's just outside the D of the St Johnstone box. Borna hits it. It's a decent effort, but it is wide. It was always looking like it was going to go wide, and we still don't have a shot on target. Again, baffled that we're just not doing what St Johnstone were doing to us. When we had the ball, they pressed us. As soon as we got anywhere near their half, they were pressing us from the front. We weren't doing that. We were letting St Johnstone come into our half, and again, just confusing tactics for me. That we should be on top of these teams. At this level, at the confidence levels they're at, we should be on top of them as soon as they get the ball, right up from where even their defenders getting the ball. We should be on top of them. That's just my personal opinion, how I like to see it. But we'll come to it in the second half. When we did do that, St Johnstone were making errors with the ball when in possession. I mean, to me, it's not rocket science. But again, I am not a football coach. Tillman is then fouled 3 times. I counted anyway in the corner, right in front of the linesman. But of course, he's obviously been found at a local bus stop, so he gives Rangers a corner and ignores the fouls, as does the referee. And then we burst into life eventually. Sakala is down the right hand side. Great link up play between him and Tillman. He smashes a shot against the base of the far post. It falls to Borna, who's on the left, and with the first time strikes the ball with his left into the top right hand corner, even into the kind of top side netting. I feel like this is honestly a tremendous strike by Borna Barisic, an absolute cracker of a goal. And finally, there is something in this game that we can have a discussion about. Superb finish, honestly, absolutely a goal worthy of winning the game. Although I wish it wasn't the only goal in the game, but it was absolutely tremendous finish. An absolute tremendous finish. We've seen a few times Borna trying to hit shots recently and it's kind of bobbled up, but this one he got absolutely sweet as a nut. Keeper's got absolutely no chance, and he buries it into the far corner, and yeah, that takes us pretty much to half time. No doubt I've seen better halves of football, but what a way to break the deadlock, as I said, with Borna's finish. It really is brilliant. And yes, we were not great. Yes, we are in dire need of fresh faces in this team, but it is 1-0 at half time. So I was thinking, right, I'll take that. Let's forget this half and let's hope that Rangers come out and do what they usually do in second half of games under Michael Beale. In the second half, and I say, was hoping for it. Did we get it? Probably not, no. But I mean, we started pressing. We did. We were much quicker to get on top of them, and they were making unforced errors by doing so. I don't understand why it took us to the second half to do it. But it's still, the tempo went up a bit, the intensity went up a bit, but still not the levels that I'm expecting to see from this team. It didn't go up enough for me. It really didn't go up enough. It was an improvement, yes, in the first half, but anything would have been. That first half is truly one that I will never ever watch again. It was awful. So the second half started slightly better. As you say, around 55 minutes, Barisic nearly gets himself another assist for the season with a great corner right on the Goldson's head. It's a free header. It is going in, but the keeper gets a decent hand to it, and he keeps St Johnstone in it. Rangers were in control for the next 10 minutes, but we didn't really create a clear-cut chance. The closest was really Morelos slipping in Sakala. Looked like all he had to do was take another touch and he would have been in for a shot, but it is a decent interception by Constantine, I think it was, for St Johnstone, and they get it behind for a corner. We then make a double change. Tillman and Sakala come off, Wright and Kamara come on. Tillman, okay in spells today. He was involved in the build-up of the goal, but apart from that, it was quiet by his standards. But you did see him on the bench with an ice pack on, so let's hope that's nothing serious, because we can't be affording to have any more players out. And Sakala, again, I can't fault the guy for his effort. I really can't. He was unlucky not to score, but another really decent shift by Sakala. Can't really have too many complaints. He didn't give up, that's for sure. Into the last 20 minutes, and thinking another goal about now would be lovely. Really nice. It would be really nice to see, and it would pretty much have killed the tie. But yeah, Ryan Jack has an effort from outside the box, goes wide after again, really nice build-up play. Kamara was involved, Kent was involved, Morelos was involved, and yeah, it was really nice build-up play. But as I say, Ryan Jack's shots wide of the mark. Scott Wright goes close with a curling shot with his left, but again, it's well saved by the keeper. Scott Wright does really well here. Lundstrom gives him a good pass, a good pace. He manages to turn with the first touch and calls it with his left, but it is a really decent save, to be fair. It was one of them kind of looping shots that I did think was in. I was off my chair thinking it was a goal, but it's a decent save, and he turns it behind for a corner. Tav then hits the first man again from a corner. I know I've not mentioned that, but you'll know if you've watched the game that Tav hit, I think, the first man 3-4 times tonight. I don't think one of his crosses that went into the box from a corner actually found a Rangers player. I could be wrong. It could be the mood that I'm in, to be fair, after watching that. But again, just wasteful, just absolutely wasteful when we get the chance. But from the kind of second phase of the corner, Alfredo really should have killed the game off here, in my opinion. He couldn't really seem to sort himself out with the ball, and the ball was kind of chipped over to him at the back post, and he just couldn't really get the ball down and get it under control. And eventually, his shot that he does get off is cleared off the line, because it's gave the St Johnstone player the chance to get back on the line as the keeper's rushed out to Alfredo. So yeah, in my opinion, Alfredo should score this year. The game should be over at this point, because I don't think St Johnstone would really have had anything to come back with. Into the last 10, and as always, when we only have a 1-0 lead, a deflected cross comes into our box. St Johnstone player gets to it first, and it's turned towards goal, but it is good defensive work by Tav at this point to clear it off the line. Goldson was standing flat-footed. McGregor didn't react to it at all, but Tav does do very well to clear it, because the ball was rolling into the back of the net. And I say St Johnstone are now going for it, as you would expect. We've not killed the game off. They bring on attackers, they bring on Murphy and Witherspoon, and they decide to go for it. We take off Ryan Kent again and bring on Lowry. Kent today, it wasn't his best game. He's still showing for the ball, still showing wee flashes, but it wasn't his best of games. It wasn't very effective, but I don't think I can sit here and say that any of the Rangers players today really gave a high level performance that they would be particularly proud of, or one that they'll remember. Into the last 5 minutes, Lowry slips in Morelos, first time down the right-hand side. He tries to find the near-top corner, but he blasts it wide and over the top. Clark then gets a shot from the edge of the box as Rangers fail to clear a long ball forward. But it is fairly comfortable for McGregor, but it felt like it was building. It felt like we were going to hit the panic button, and we surely did. Just after that, Kamara, he's nowhere near stopping a guy down our left-hand side from getting the ball into the box. And then it's just full panic stations for about a minute as Rangers trying to clear the ball. Unnecessary anxiousness coming from the players when this game should really have been out of sight. It's one of those things that we're seeing just now, and it always happens. I know it's football, and if you don't kill off a game, you expect these moments to come in games where it's kind of panic and no composure shows. Everybody just seems to panic on the ball, wants to get as far away as they can, but try and hit it almost too hard and make a mess of it, etc. All these kind of things. And yeah, we go into the well, even when we did compose ourselves, we got the ball and decided to try and play a long ball, just handing it straight back to St Johnstone. That was on 2 or 3 occasions in the last few minutes of the game. We were really struggling with the game management and really struggling to see a game out, if that was the plan, was to see the game out. So, yeah, not great in my opinion. Morelos and Jack come off. As we go into the last 3 minutes of added on time, before Morelos and Jack come off, we're then denied a free kick. Scott Wright's taken out as he cuts back and changes direction. Considine takes him out, but the referees, honestly, I'm baffled at how this is not a free kick. Considine doesn't touch the ball and he takes Wright out. It's a free kick. It is just a free kick. The ball ends up the other end of the park. Goldson wins the ball and takes it out of defence and is fouled. Goldson stands up and complains about it, and the referee books him. I mentioned that the linesman was found at a bus stop. The referee picked him up in that bus to bring him to the stadium from that bus stop, because honestly, it's crazy decisions. It really is. It's just we're going on about VAR and the problems with VAR. We still have the problems with the referees not being the standard that they should be in the game. That it's just as simple as that. It was a free kick. Again, might be the mood that I'm in, but it was a free kick. Honestly, I just can't see how it wasn't. At this point, Morelos and Jack off, Cholak and Arfield come on for the last 10 minutes. Good to see Cholak back. He's going to be important, especially when it's just him and Morelos really just now. Cholak's going to be important. The referee then adds on an extra 90 seconds for reasons best known to him. No idea why, but it does finish St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1. So I'm sorry if that is all a wee bit too negative for you. I am delighted that Rangers are through to the next round. I will never not be happy when Rangers win. But the levels tonight were if you sat and enjoyed that tonight, I take my hat off to you, because that was not an enjoyable watch. That was a slog to watch that, especially that first half. I mean, there was slight improvement in the second half, but again, nothing really to write home about. The club have to make signings. That is as clear as day for us all to see. That we have gone at times. It's so clear to see how stale this team is. We have there's players just failing in the basic application of what they're meant to be doing. I would like to see players at least slightly care that they're in a game. Other times it just looks like it's so easy for them just to go through the motions. It's very easy for them just to kind of take their time, take the easy pass, and I suppose that's maybe what it was all about tonight. As I say, because the pitch wasn't great. I'll be interested to see what Beale says after this game. I can't see him being too delighted at what he had to watch. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're through. And it will be a game that will be forgotten, long forgotten, because there's not very much to write home about apart from an absolute screamer from Borna Barisic. That is it. But yeah, the new faces need to happen. So let's stop dragging our feet, Rangers, and let's get these players in. It's time this squad has freshness in it, because it badly needs it. It badly needs it. Man of the match tonight for me, Borna for the goal, and that's it. And that I've got nothing else to go on tonight. It has to be that. Nothing else of note is really. Nobody else really makes any other great contribution to the game that you would be maybe saying. I say maybe Sakala possibly for his efforts. Apart from that, no, I would have to give it to Borna just for the goal, because ultimately it's won us the game. So yes, usually I would thank the lads here, but I'm on my own. So as always, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel. That would be great. And whenever you listen to us, if you could drop a wee 5-star rating, that would be much appreciated. We will be back on Tuesday with Club Deck Corner. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. For tonight, I have been Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.